All right, get ready to dive into something really wild today. Precognition.
Seeing the future.
Exactly. That whole knowing the future thing, we've all had those moments, right? Like a dream that felt way too real, or a gut feeling that turned out to be spot on.
Yeah, definitely. And who hasn't wanted a crystal ball, right?
So what if you could actually see future events?
Yeah.
Like winning lottery numbers.
Or avoiding a disaster.
Exactly. Sounds pretty amazing at first.
But there's a flip side, too. What if you saw something terrible?
Ooh, good point. The potential downsides are just as big, huh?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you guys, our listener has been researching like crazy.
Seriously.
Articles, papers, real-life stories, the whole 9 yards. We're here to help sort it all out.
That's awesome. It is a pretty wild concept, right? Like actually seeing the future.
I know, right?
But it's not just, winning the lottery or anything. There's a lot more to think about.
Okay, real talk. Who hasn't wished they could see the future at some point? Dodging awkward dates, knowing what to say in a job interview. But then I think about those sci-fi movies where knowing the future messes people up, and it's like, uh-oh, maybe not so fun after all.
Right. That's what makes it so interesting. It's like this promise of control and knowing what's coming, but then also there could be some serious downsides.
No kidding. So that's what we're going to unpack today. Real-life examples, bit of science, and how precognition could really impact our lives.
The good, the bad.
And the just plain weird.
Exactly.
Okay, let's start with the fun stuff. Imagine having precognition. What are some Turks that come to mind? An entrepreneur who used precognition for business. They navigated financial crises and made awesome investments.
Who wouldn't want that?
I know, right? I could finally quit my job.
What would you do?
I would just watch cat videos all day.
That's, one way to use it.
I'm just kidding.
Well, avoiding danger is a big one. We came across this case in a Chinese article we found. Someone had a vision of a fire and managed to evacuate a whole building before it went up in flames.
Wow. Everyone got out safe.
Everyone. All thanks to one person's premonition. It's like a real-life superhero.
That's incredible. A cheat code for life, almost.
Right. And then there's the whole decision-making thing. Imagine knowing what career would lead you to success.
Oh, that'd be nice. No more agonizing over choices, huh?
Yeah.
Like having a crystal ball for your career.
Pretty much.
Or your relationships.
Oh, yeah. Imagine that.
And there's the peace of mind with loved ones, too. Knowing your family and friends will be healthy and safe.
That's true. But wouldn't it be so tempting to try and control things?
Oh, totally. Like if you knew someone was going to get sick, wouldn't you want to jump in and try to stop it?
Absolutely. And that's where the potential downsides come in, right? The mental and emotional weight of knowing the future, especially if it's bad news.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
What are the downsides?
Lay it on me.
For one, constantly knowing the future.
Yeah.
Especially if it's bad stuff.
Oh, right.
It could be really stressful.
What a burden.
Imagine living with that weight of knowing about tragedies.
Oh, that's a good point.
Or even just personal setbacks.
Yeah, it's like watching a horror movie and you know exactly when the jump scares are coming.
Haha. Yeah, but you can't turn it off.
Exactly.
And the article talked about social isolation, too.
Really?
Imagine trying to explain your experiences to others.
And they don't believe you.
Or they just don't understand.
I would be so lonely.
People might withdraw from society completely.
Oh, that's sad.
It is.
Something that could be a gift could actually be alienating.
Right. And then the ethical problems.
Like what?
Say you see a car accident in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Would you have to intervene?
Good question.
But what if your actions caused something worse to happen?
That's a tough one.
The responsibility would be huge.
Yeah, it's complicated.
It really is.
It's not just about knowing what's going to happen.
Right.
It's about how you deal with that knowledge.
And the consequences.
And we have to remember the science.
Yeah.
The scientists are still skeptical about precognition.
That's true.
That's where the Wikipedia article is interesting.
Oh, how so?
It talks about coincidence, selective memory.
We remember things differently.
Yeah, and even the power of suggestion.
So maybe our brains trick us sometimes.
Like that time I thought I knew what my friend was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it wasn't precognition, just a lucky guess.
Could be. Our brains are complex.
That's true.
But it doesn't mean the experiences aren't real to people.
It's a good point.
You just need to be critical thinkers. But it makes you think about decisions and even free will.
Deep thoughts already. So we've got upsides, downsides, and tricky brains.
What's next?
What else is there?
There was also this woman in Pennsylvania
Okay.
who said she could see things like hurricanes and earthquakes.
Wow.
She got attention for being right.
I'm dead.
But over time, people started to doubt her.
I bet that was tough.
Yeah, she eventually disappeared from public life.
It makes you think about the pressure of being in the spotlight,
It does.
especially if you believe in what you're doing.
Yeah, maybe all the attention affects their abilities somehow.
So it's not just about if precognition is real.
Right.
It's about how our beliefs and everything influence things.
Exactly.
So we have these interesting cases.
Yeah.
Are there any patterns?
That's where we'll look at the psychology and culture next.
Okay, let's get philosophical.
If we look beyond those individual cases
Okay.
and think about the psychology,
Yeah.
there are some really interesting connections.
Like what?
Well, some people think that people with precognitive abilities might be more sensitive or creative.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not just seeing the future, literally,
Right.
but maybe a different way of processing information.
Like a super intuition.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Maybe they're more attuned to things,
Things?
cues or patterns that others miss.
And that helps them make predictions.
It's possible.
It's like those people who can just read a room.
Precognition has been around forever.
That's true.
From ancient rituals to modern psychics.
It's like a universal thing.
Yeah, people have always been fascinated by the future.
I mean, think about tarot cards or those fortune teller booths.
Or even those online quizzes. We all want some control in a world that feels chaotic.
It's like we need a peek behind the curtain.
To make sense of the unknown.
And how different cultures see precognition.
Yeah.
Tells us about their beliefs.
And their fears.
That's like a window into their world.
Exactly.
Wow, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
Upsides, downsides, skepticism, real-world examples.
Psychology, culture.
What else is there?
Well, there's one more thing.
What's that?
Precognition in the age of technology.
Ooh, futuristic.
What if technology could give us artificial precognition?
Wait, like Minority Report?
Haha, not quite.
But close.
AI and big data can make some pretty accurate predictions.
Really?
Think about algorithms that analyze data.
Okay.
They can identify patterns,
And predict things.
like our behavior, or the weather, or the stock market.
So it's already happening.
In a way, yeah.
It's not magic then, it's math.
It's a different kind of precognition.
But still pretty amazing.
It is, and it makes you wonder
how
it will change things.
Like what?
Our decisions, our sense of control, even what it means to be human.
That's deep.
It's a new era.
Where science fiction is becoming real.
And it raises a big question.
What's that?
Does knowing the future ruin the mystery of life?
That's a good point.
Part of the joy is the unknown.
The surprises.
If we knew everything, would life be boring?
Maybe, but maybe not.
Maybe knowing would make us appreciate the present more.
Because we'd know it wouldn't last.
Exactly.
It's like that saying.
Yeah.
Life is about the journey, not the destination.
I got that.
Maybe knowing the destination wouldn't be so bad.
It might make us enjoy the ride more.
So would we want to know the future?
That's a personal question.
There's no right answer.
It depends.
That is the question, right? It's like, would you really want to know?
It's tempting.
I mean, think about all those awkward moments you could avoid.
All those facepalm moments.
Exactly. No more cringe.
And you could make better decisions.
Knowing how things would turn out.
Less risk.
But then there's that whole other
The
side.
dark side.
Haha. Yeah, like knowing bad things are going to happen.
That would be tough.
And feeling different from everyone else.
Isolated.
And the ethical dilemmas, what would you do with that knowledge?
It's a heavy burden.
Maybe it's better not to know. So what do you think? Would you want to know the future?
It's a tough one.
No easy answers. It's a mind-boggling topic.
Precognition is a real mystery.
One that continues to fascinate us.
So what do you think, listeners?
Would you want to see the future?
Let us know on social media.
We want to hear your thoughts.
And if you need a break from all this deep thinking,
Yeah, we get it.
check out Mickytolife on YouTube.
They have great travel and drink reviews.
A little fun and relaxation.
Always a good thing.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into precognition.
Thanks for joining us.
Keep those minds curious.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll have your own precognitive moment.
Until next time.
See ya.